Hey guys, let's talk about Jiu-Jitsu 101 and what that is. Jiu-Jitsu 101 is a system of self-defense that's the foundation for all of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that we teach here at Zev Martial Arts. Jiu-Jitsu is a process. It's not something you're ever done with. Like working out, you're never done working out. You can learn new techniques, you can refine your techniques, you can shift your goals. Just like you don't walk into the gym and bench your body weight immediately, you may have to build up to that and learn new things, work on accessory exercises. Jiu-Jitsu is largely the same, and while that can be frustrating or intimidating to new people, I think it's really exciting. But to negate some of that frustration or intimidation, we have Jiu-Jitsu 101. Building blocks for everything else that you'll learn in Jiu-Jitsu. Whether you are interested in competition, sport, furthering self-defense, we have Jiu-Jitsu 101. Now the reason Jiu-Jitsu 101 is a self-defense system is because I want you to learn the very first thing you learn, and as fast as possible, I want you guys to have the ability to protect yourself, so that if you decide Jiu-Jitsu is not for you, you still take away something valuable. And if it's something that you decide to stick with for the rest of your life, which I hope you do, you have a great starting line, and you can continue building on top of that. Now, why Jiu-Jitsu? I really like Jiu-Jitsu for a few reasons. First reason is that it's endless. You don't have a fixed system. I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu for 15 years and I'm learning new stuff all the time, and I'm refining the stuff that I do know. And that's really exciting to me, that I just don't get bored with this martial art. Another really good reason is that people get grabby when you fight. Really good example is to watch boxing. Professional boxers train using only their hands and punches. And yet if you were to watch a professional boxing match, you'll notice that these guys are always grabbing each other anytime they're in danger, or anytime they get stuck, or they're looking for more control, and the ref has to come in and break them up, because at that point they're not boxing anymore, and these are professionals. Now watch people that aren't professionals, and you'll notice that anytime the fight's not going their way, or maybe it is going their way but they want more control over somebody, we put our hands on people, we wrap the head, we give hugs, things like that. And you have to know what to do when that happens. And Jiu-Jitsu is the ultimate answer for that. The whole sport, or the whole system, no matter what side you're doing of Jiu-Jitsu, is what do we do when we go hands-on? That's what we're all about, and it's the thing Jiu-Jitsu is best at. The next point that I love Jiu-Jitsu, for self-defense at least, is, and we'll split this into two sides. You have people that say fighting always goes to the ground. And you have people that say, well, in self-defense, I never want to go to the ground. And the cool thing about Jiu-Jitsu is I get to choose. I can dictate whether or not that fight goes to the ground. And if it does go to the ground, Jiu-Jitsu gives me the tools to choose to stand back up. And if someone tries to put me on the ground, Jiu-Jitsu gives me the ability to either not go to the ground, disengage, and leave, or put them on the ground instead. And there's not a lot of martial arts that are as well versed in that as Jiu-Jitsu. There are some notable exceptions, being judo and wrestling, but they don't quite have the finishing qualities that Jiu-Jitsu does. And so that's one of the reasons I prefer Jiu-Jitsu. The last thing that I'll mention in this video is Jiu-Jitsu gives the disadvantaged a fighting chance. If we were to go back into striking, which I think is great, everyone should do at least a little bit of striking, it really comes down to who's stronger and faster, bigger. And Jiu-Jitsu, you may notice I'm not the biggest person in the world. I often fight with people in Jiu-Jitsu that are 50 pounds heavier than me, and I manage to do fairly well. Which is not to say that size doesn't matter in Jiu-Jitsu, it does, but because of the experience I have, I'm able to negate a lot of that size disadvantage. To a certain point, of course, but you wouldn't see that same negation of that advantage if we were just punching and kicking. But Jiu-Jitsu really lets you kind of even that out as long as you have the experience. Now, this also is true for people with injuries. There's not a lot of high-impact moves in Jiu-Jitsu, and when there are, you just find a workaround, or you do something different. There are takedowns where we go soft, and there are takedowns where we go hard. There's really not that kind of metric that you have for striking arts. And again, I do like striking, but when I'm punching something, it's high impact. When I'm kicking, same thing. There's a impact there that may not be good for you if you have injuries, arthritis, something like that, if your head can't take a lot of impact, or if you're worried about brain damage. Jiu-Jitsu negates a lot of this. Now, it is a contact sport, but if you're looking for something that you can do well into your older age, Jiu-Jitsu may be what you're looking for. And we have students. Our oldest student was 75 years old 75 years old, and he was able to hang with us for a lot of what we did. So those are some of the reasons I love Jiu-Jitsu. There's more, but I'll leave you there. I hope you enjoy our Jiu-Jitsu 101 series.